Ever wonder how an automotive giant gets ready for the future of transportation? Well, today, we're going to break down Tata Motors' 2025 Annual Report to really understand its strategy, its performance, and its vision for a world that's always on the move. All right, let's get into it.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the numbers and see how they actually did. Then, we get to the fun stuff, their cutting-edge technology. After that, we'll see how they're planning to make their whole business greener. And you are definitely going to want to stick around for the end, because we're going to unpack a massive strategic split that's about to change everything for the company.
You know, to build the future, you've got to invest in it. And this number right here sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. Over 33,000 crore rupees. That's what they invested in research and development in just 1 year. This is their massive bet on the future of mobility.
Okay, so with all that investment, let's get right to it. How did the company actually perform in fiscal year 2025? Let's check the scorecard.
Look, in what was a pretty tough global market, these numbers really tell a story of resilience. Consolidated revenue looks solid, but the real standout here is their luxury arm, Jaguar Land Rover, or JLR. They pulled in a really powerful £2.5 billion profit. Now, that kind of financial stability isn't just a nice headline, it's the fuel for everything they're planning to do next.
All right, now for the really exciting part, innovation. With a strong financial base, how exactly is Tata Motors building the vehicles of tomorrow?
So what's their big idea? Well, at the heart of it all is what they call a multi-powertrain strategy. Think of it this way. In a market where the future's kind of uncertain, they're not betting the whole farm on just one technology. Nope, they're offering you a choice: traditional gasoline, super cost-effective CNG, or fully electric. They're covering all the bases, and as you're about to see, it is really paying off.
And if you're wondering if that strategy's working, well, the numbers don't lie. While the auto industry as a whole saw pretty modest growth, Tata Motors just blew past it in these key areas. I mean, just look at this. An 11% jump in SUVs and a massive 53% surge in CNG vehicles. They found the market's sweet spot.
And their innovation goes way beyond consumer cars. They've developed India's very first truck powered by a hydrogen internal combustion engine. This is a huge deal, a major milestone. It proves they're serious about exploring every possible path to cleaner commercial transport, not just the obvious ones.
Now let's hop over to Jaguar Land Rover, where the entire vision is captured in a single word: reimagine. As their CEO, Adrian Mardell, puts it, it's a complete transformation of the business. And the goal? To turn JLR into a modern, electric-first luxury brand that's just as sustainable as it is desirable.
So are people actually buying into this electric luxury idea? Well, this number says it all. Over 59,000 customers have already put their names down on the waiting list for the new Range Rover Electric. That isn't just interest, folks. That's a massive signal from the market that they are ready and waiting for what JLR is building.
Okay, so building cool new cars is one thing, but a huge part of Tata's strategy is also about building a better, greener company. It's a deep commitment to environmental and social responsibility. And they're not just talking the talk. Check this out. Nearly half, 46% of the electricity powering their entire India operations now comes from renewable sources. That is a huge shift, tackling their carbon footprint right where it starts, on the factory floor. Their entire sustainability effort is guided by this big initiative they call Alangana. And it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. It's built on 3 powerful pillars: driving towards net zero emissions, creating circular economies where you minimize waste, and actively preserving nature. And listen, these aren't just vague, feel-good promises for some far-off future. They have put hard deadlines on the calendar. JLR is targeting 2039, passenger vehicles 2040, and their entire commercial vehicle business by 2045. These are concrete, science-based targets for a complete transformation. Beyond the environment, their commitment also extends out to the community. In this past year alone, their social programs reached nearly 1.5 million people, or 14.78 lakh beneficiaries. That's an impact that goes way beyond the vehicles they produce. So we've seen the strong financials, the bold innovation, and a deep commitment to sustainability. But what's the next major turn in the road for Tata Motors? What does the next chapter look like? Well, the answer is a huge strategic shift. The company is planning a demerger. That means they are literally splitting into 2 separate, publicly traded companies. This is a truly defining moment for the business.
So here's how it's going to work.
The company is basically breaking into two focused pieces. One entity will be all about commercial vehicles, the trucks, the buses. The other will manage the entire passenger vehicle lineup, from their electric cars all the way to the luxury of JLR. Two very different markets, and now two companies laser-focused on winning in them.
So why make such a monumental move? Well, according to the chairman, N. Chandrasekaran, it all comes down to focus and agility. By splitting, each company can chase its own tailored strategy, react way faster to market shifts, and ultimately create more value where it really counts.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, a multi-powertrain strategy, hydrogen trucks, a reimagined electric JLR, and now this massive corporate split, it's clear Tata Motors isn't just adapting to the future, they're actively trying to build it. So the final question really is, will these bold moves be enough to put them in the driver's seat of the next generation of mobility? The road ahead is definitely going to be fascinating to watch.